Hi everybody, this is Adnan and from GetMax Consulting .ca. Today we will talk about that once a strategy is designed, once you have sit with your team and jot down all the strategic points, and you have arrived on your financial feasibility, you have make your sale goals, you have implemented your sales, you have in hand all your sale execution plan with you. No, the second phase come is basically you got to implement your strategy. Once the strategy is designed, the most important thing is to get that strategy implemented from your team. And I think this is the most difficult thing. Yes, you can dream something, you can easily plan something, just sitting on a table with your team, sitting with a cup of tea. It's easy, maybe easy to make a strategy, but the challenge come in when you got to implement that strategy. That is the real things where most of the teams either win profit for you or they waste your resources. So if your strategic team is true brilliant, they have a lot of ideas, they have a lot of skills, and they have a lot of energies, and you are able to make a winning strategy for your business. But but if your sales team is not spotting your sales strategy, if your sales team is not able to uh, bring the required energies to get that strategy implemented successfully, then definitely you are on a you are basically losing your money, you are wasting your resources, and you are just creating loss out of that strategy. So now, in this lecture, I will try to give you some tips and some rules and some considerations that are required when you got to implement your sales strategy, and that skills are basically key to enable you achieve your sale goals. So we will start from an example, then I will build up it step by step to make the process easy for you to understand. So let's talk about a normal business that you have something in hand. You and your team have decided that you are going to launch a cheap product into the market, and for example you are going to launch a refrigerator into the market, and there are for example 40 to 30 competitors into the market. Now you have designed that your product will be at lowest price as compared to your competitor. And for example, if the market is basically saturated uh, with a lot of credit, a lot of products, and this is a old market, I am assuming. There are different type of competitors with the same type of products, and all the creditors are offering credit into the market, and your distributors or your customers are basically habitual of getting high credit from your side. And in this scenario, you are planning that you will give no credit, but you will offer lowest possible price to your customer. So the model is basically you are going to sell your product on cash, and you are going to increase your sale volume, and you are going to challenge and establish norm of high credit market. So this is your strategy. So you are providing why to your customer by lowering your prices as and countering the competitor strategy of providing high credit to the customer. So now let's start about the execution. What can be the execution plan for it? The first step you need to decide, you need to design is basically that whatever strategy you make, it must be consistent. Number one, it must be consistent. Your strategy must be consistent. It must be aligned with your long-term goals. Long-term, I mean 5-year goals. And once you have established your 5-year goals, you have to drill it down to 3-year plan, then to 2-year plan, then to 1-year plan, and then to uh, obviously the short term plan, which is 1 year, 6 months, and then 6 months are further diluted to the basis, then quarter basis is further diluted to the monthly execution plan. So this is all the part of strategy, that you have designed a strategy, and uh, you have put that strategy into your spreadsheets containing all the data of what would be your annual targets, what would be your quarterly targets, what would be your monthly targets. And definitely this is basically now, this was basically planned. You have planned something, you have designed something on your spreadsheet, and now when everything is designed, now it's come to the implementation. Stop. You got to stop here, because the real challenge starts from here. Previous all the things was a computer work, it was all the mobile work, it was all the pencil work, it was only the paper work. But now the challenge is basically you are going to implement that thing. Now assume that that was a dream, and now this you got to put your efforts to make that dream true. So real challenge come in here. So you got to have a strong mechanism. You need to design a strong structure that support that particular dream. The strategy, the dream you have decided in the past. Now in the present, you got to design a system, you need to refine a system, you need to design a structure, a culture, a environment that's for that strategy in 360-degree. Now you will, what you will do it, you will not going to do planning, you are basically going to design a 360-degree marketing plan, a sale plan, a strategy implementation plan for your team to execute. Again, the number one thing I will divide into several steps, but I will highlight and count those steps at my own convenience to make it easy for me, because I am not reading from some material, so I need to jumping over the different things to bring up something valuable for you. So first of all, your strategy should be consistent. Your strategy should be consistent. The number one thing you got to do after implementing your strategy is to gather your customer information, gather your customer information. So I already told you there are four marketing mix: product, price, place, promotion. And obviously if you have designed your strategy effectively, you would have designed that what your product would be. Product, I mean what would be the unique selling proposition in your product, what would be the price, what would be the quality of your product, and how much volume of your product you want to sell into market. This all thing I am assuming that you have designed. And then the second mix is basically price, that you have designed that you are going to cater a lower end market, and going into volume game. You are going to sell your product at lower price, so you have decided your price. And then third place is place. You definitely, if you have make a complete marketing strategy, you must have designed that what would be where you will place your product, that this is the product available with this characteristics, and then where this would be the product price and where to place that product. Definitely you might have planned that you will go to the single national distributor, or you will go to the city wise distributors, or you will further go to the town wise distributors. So that definitely that is your call, that how you are moving with it. And I'm sure you would have designed along with your strategy that what would be the placement channels for your product. So if you have designed the placement channel for your product, the next step would be definitely the promotion, that what promotional strategy would have. Would you go for TVC? Would you go for ATL as well as the BTL activity, above the line activities and below the line activities, and shop boards, TVCs, all this stuff. Definitely you would have designed in somehow. First come with the main strategy, then strategies further drill down to different levels. And I am assuming that you have designed all these levels at 360 degrees. But today's topic is not about the strategy. Today's topic is that all these things are designed. Now we have a product with which we are going to launch into market with a lower price, and we are countering the competitor strategy or offering high credit into the market. So this is our plan basically of the today's lecture. So you have designed all the things, and now it's implementation. So now the first step you got to do is basically you have to gather information. The number one information you got to gather is to gather the information about all the customers. Yes, all the customers. All the customers, I mean, I don't mean the customer, the ultimate consumer customer. I don't mean the person who is buying product for somebody. I mean the dealership network, or the distribution network, or the placement channels. You got to get all the information about all the placement channels. For example, if you are going to launch the product in the GTA, Toronto area, then definitely you got to get the information about, for example, if your product is a refrigerator, you got to get the information about all the dealers of who are dealing in the refrigerator. You got to get the information of all the distributors who supplied refrigerator and similar products. So you got to get the information. What you got to get, you got to get all telephone numbers. You got to get the all the names of the decision maker. Yes, the decision maker. Example, if there is a manager, that manager is not basically the decision maker. The decision maker is that person who is authorized to sign the purchase order, who is authorized to change the principal company, who is authorized to add different products into her distribution channel. So that would be the decision maker. So you got to get the name and telephone contact and email of that person who is basically the decision maker, to get to add you into his or her portfolio to sell into market. So you got to get the information about all the distributors, so on all the dealers, all the retail outlets, or whatever channel you are using. You got to get the information. Means the anybody you are selling the product, you got to get you need to get the information about that company. Once that company, then you got to find the decision maker of that company. And once you have find the decision maker of that company, you got to get the email address of that particular decision maker, and with his name, with his telephone number and address, obviously. So all this thing is steady. Now, yes, this is a very difficult thing. How to get the information? This is another game, and definitely I do have plan for you. And maybe in future videos we will discuss that how to gather that information very easily, because it's not very easy to get all the information. For example, if we are talking about Ontario, and you are going to sell your product in Ontario, that, and definitely in Ontario province there might be 1,000 plus distributors. There might be some distributor in a hidden street. There would be some distributor who has office in his her home. Then, but you got to get his name too. That is the another tricky game. Definitely, I have the solution for it that we'll discuss later on. So, but I am assuming that you have all that plan ready and you have all the information with you. For example, you are going to launch a refrigerator with a lower price, countering the competitor strategy who are basically marketing their product based upon the heavy credit and huge credit lines. And then definitely you have, I assuming that you have got all the information of the decision makers. Once you have all the information with the decision maker, now the next step come in. Now, in the keeping in view your customer, you the second step would be to analyze that information. Yes, to analyze that information. You need to identify, yes, this is the Mr. A company, this is the Miss B company, this is Mr. C's company, and these are three companies, and A sells this much volume to the market, B sell this much volume to the market, C sell this much volume to the market. So you get the estimate potential of that particular targeted distributor, targeted placement channel, targeted dealer. And once all this thing is ready, your estimation number is ready, not for your product only, for entire competitive range. So you have got the information about the distributor, you have got the information of the decision maker, you have got the contact details of the decision makers, and now you are going to basically analyze the potential numbers of that placement channel. So you get the information about the placement channel. And fifth thing, you got to get the strength. What are the strength of that distributor or that particular dealer? What is the way of doing business of that particular distributor? Is that particular distributor interested into credit? Is that particular distributor interested into cash product? You got to understand the behavior of that particular decision maker or that particular placement channel or that particular distribution channel or that particular dealer. So that information, you got to put that information into that Excel sheet you have prepared about your customer. Now you have all the data, you have all the potential sales, you have all the dealers, you have all the setup, and now you have to add another column. Add another column into your Excel sheet. That column will be why. Why this customer, why this dealer, why this decision maker, why this particular placement channel would be interested into your product. Why that person would be interested into your product? Why? He has other 30 companies, he has other 40 companies who are anxious to provide the products, who are willing to give him credit, to give him lower rate. Why your product? That is USP, unique selling proposition for your customer. And now you got to design for him, you got to design strategy, you got to not strategy, but you got to find out that what would be the why for this particular distributor. For example, you are going to launch the refrigerator in Ontario, you have gathered the information about 1,000 to 2,000 placement channels or distributors or dealer, you have analyzed their sale potentials, you have analyzed their numbers, you have put your estimated sale against each head, and you have analyzed all this strength. And now the why is very important to make that particular dealer convinced to sell your product. Yes, to sell your product. His willingness is always required. You got to find the weak areas. You got to find his needs, where you can pitch your sale, where you can give why to your distributor. No, only thing is ready, your information is ready, your distributor is ready, their why are ready, their number are ready, their target is ready, their potential is ready. Now the other step come in the sale implementation. The next step come in. I already told you that the making strategy is very easy, but the most difficult part is to get that strategy implemented. So how you can implement that strategy? I am giving you the way out. No, you have gathered all the information about your dealer network, your distributor network, their decision maker. The next step is basically you need to hire, you need to engage your sale team. For example, in that refrigerator company, you have 6 to 7 sale associates, and your dealers are basically 30 plus, and the customer you are going to cater are 1,000 to 2,000 in Ontario province. So how come 6 associate would be able to touch 2,000 dealers, 2,000 distributors, or 2,000 retail shop in a single month? Is it possible? Obviously not possible. Then definitely, based upon those numbers, you need to identify that how much sale associate you are required, what would be the territory, what would be the city allocation, how many sale associate are required, and what is the required skills that must be in your sale associates. So definitely you would be hiring some more associates. For 1,000, you need to you need to drill down 1,000 in, divide it with the 22. 22 22 are basically 30 days a month, and working days are 22. You got to divide your distributor with 22. This would be 1 day activity. For example, there were 2,000, or say 2,200 dealers, 2,200 customers, 2,200 retail shops. Then if you have 22 working days, your single day activity, your single, if you visit everybody, then definitely you got to divide it by 22. Then every day you got to visit 100 customers, 100 distributors. So if a normal salesperson visit five 5 to 6 associates, 5 to 6 customers, 5 to 6 distributors, then you got to design your sale field accordingly. And definitely everybody, at least you need to design your sale call system, that either you got to visit your distributor in a week, or you got to visit your dealer after 2 weeks, or you will visit your distributor twice a month. So this is your call based upon your goals. So all these things, you need to design your sales team according to your customers, according to uh, that according to the dealer network, according to the distribution channel, and definitely the why you have designed into that column is very important. To analyze who should be your salesman, who can convince which customer. So you have to allocate your sale officers. So once sale officers are allocated, you got to assign them distributors. For example, for that refrigerator company, you have 10 distributors. You have 2,000 distributors, and you have assigned 25 to 20 sales associates. So you got to divide customers based upon area, based upon structure, based upon convenience. You got to allocate your sales officers that this area is yours, this area is yours, this area is yours. So Mr. A will be given a list of 20 dealers or 30 dealers or 100 dealers. For example, we divide them equally. 22,000 are our dealers and 22 are our sale officers. So each sale officer hypothetically get, for example, if 100. So this 100 number are basically belongs to Mr. A, who is the salesman of the company. So you will not waste their time. You would not ask them to find out customer, to find out all the things. Your everything should be ready before execution. Your customer list must be ready before execution. Your everything must be ready before execution. Your sale officer or your salesman should be taking your plan to the customers for execution. They should not be wasting their skill on finding data. They should not be wasting skill on finding decision makers. They should not be wasting their skills on finding other irrelevant. Not I should not say this irrelevant. Yes, this is relevant, but non-value added things, I would say. So all those things must be pumped up into your sale operation team, pumped up into your sale operation team, so that once they execute, definitely you are paying cost to your salesman. Nobody want to pay extra money to your salesman, and definitely that information will be available with the salesperson who is going to make a sale call. That Mr. A, this is list of 100 parties. You got to visit them one by one, and this is your monthly plan. Make their monthly plan. Now information is gathered, first strategy is made, then information is gathered into that Excel file with all the whys, and then you have divided all the 2000 or 2200 customers into salesmanship, and now these salesmen are basically allocated with the customers, and now your salesmen are basically moving to the market. They have their plan ready. Give them a plan, give them a monthly plan, give them a daily plan, and one person in your team, one person should be daily monitoring each and every activity. That person would be the sale coordinator of your company or your sale in charge, who would be monitoring each person activity one by one, and going down to each and every level, analyzing that if Mr. A has visited 5 parties, I have already providing them their contact number, I have already providing the decision maker name, I have already providing them with the emails, I have providing them with the why, and now that person should be making sale for you. This is basically half of the salesmanship you have already done. Now the that half part must be executed successfully. And that person who is looking the things must ask question on daily basis, that what is the progress? What is the progress on each customer? What is the progress on that Excel spreadsheet do you have designed and break down for the each associate? So you got to get that information on daily basis. You got to get that feedback on daily basis to make your sale effective. Make sure your sale associate do the salesmanship. Make sure your sale associate engage your customers properly. Make sure your salesmen have the capabilities to get the desired sale done. But before sending your salesman to the customer, one thing is very important. That one thing is basically, it's very little teeny thing, but this thing will help you generate and boost your sale. And that tip is basically one, you need to educate your salesmanship. You got to educate them. You need to give them, you need to provide them the required product knowledge. You need to provide them the required skills and training. And you need to provide them with all the so-called expertise to grab that sale for you. That is called sales training. Your single salesman should speak your words to the customers. If you have reduced your sale price, but you don't want to reduce it actually and offering some gift with your product, this is the glass. Buy this glass, get this mouse free. Buy this glass, buy this mouse free. This is basically, you are not reducing the price of this glass. This is $4 glass, and if, for example, you are giving this $1 pencil as a free, then actually your glass price is 4, but you are making it at 3 by providing this pencil. So you are reducing your, you are actually diluting your price and giving that glass at $3, but actually showing that it is a $4. But most of the time what your sales team do is they don't speak your word. You give strategy in one way, they speak on another way. You say that if you buy 2, I will give you 1 free. If you buy 2 glass, I will give you 1 glass free. But what they say, they would reduce your price. They would straight away say that this is $2 price, $2 glass. If it was $4 glass and you don't want your sales associate announce that is the $4 glass and you are giving 1 2 extra glass free, but your salesman normally would do that, this is $2 glass. They don't carry your word of mouth. So you got to provide them education. You got to train them for 2 weeks, at least 1 to 2 weeks in a closed room, that you got to speak this. You can't speak this. You can't speak this. You have to speak our words. So this is the training. This is the product training. Give them strategic training. Give them all the information. Give them a comparison sheet. Take your strategy, compare it with your competitors, and make a comparison. That comparison sheet will basically create sale for you. No, they are properly trained. A very important step is missing here. Very important. That step is basically why you are providing why to your customer. But if you have not provided why to your employees, your salesman, your sales team, then they would fail your strategy. Yes, they will fail your strategy. You need to provide why our product, why this refrigerator. You are providing that why to your distributor. Now provide that why to your salesman, that why you would sell this product, because you will get required incentive, motivation. You got to motivate your team. You need to motivate your team and link their reward with the sale strategy, with the sale numbers, with the sale price, or whatever objective you have. Link your objective with the rewards of your salesman, that he has why he is happy to sell that product. Your salesman should be happy to sell that product. And how that salesman would be happy to sell that product? There is a one way, that, or that your culture and your incentive support and make that salesman happy to sell your product. Now I will recapitulate all the things. You have make a strategy, put it on Excel file. You have gather all competitive information. You have gather all customers information, all decision maker information. You have gather all their contact numbers. You have gathered their email. You have gathered other information, and then you have trained your associates on your. You before into that territory, and then you have your customer